Hi everybody. I'll just give you a minute to jump on. This was all a little bit last minute. So I'm not expecting many of you to be here today. So I'm just going to chat away. And then when you jump in, you jump in. Hi Gina. So I just really feel the pressure for everybody at the moment. And I thought I'd try and offer some support and some words of encouragement, because I know things are really difficult at the moment with everything that's going on in the world, and people are getting really confused about what's real and what isn't, and who to believe and who not, and so on and so forth. So yeah, things are really challenging at the moment. Hi Heidi. So yeah, I just have felt really strongly the last days of just trying to offer some support and to try and help you all get a little bit more clarity on what's real and what isn't, and you know, the truth of everything that's going on. And so I thought this might be a nice idea to just come on, have a chat. And guys, just, you know, feel free to be interactive. If you want to ask questions, or you want to, you know, say anything about how things are for you right now, you know, the community that I've always tried to build here is always about supporting each other. Hence, we do not allow any kind of abusive behaviour, or, you know, people here that are just out for conflict, basically. So yeah, feel free to drop a comment if you want to have a chat and you want to just, you know, clear up anything that's confusing with the world right now. Then, you know, let's just chat for a little while and see how everybody is. This SRA page has always been a community. So, but on that note, I've not been around, have I, much with the lives and everything like I used to be. So I do apologise for my absence. It's not been for no good reasons. I've got so many sort of paths at the moment going on with my soul purpose and my soul journey, and, you know, exposing satanic ritual abuse has been such a huge thing for me. But I've got other sort of directions that I have to focus on as well. So I've had to really give that my priority. And that is the healing part of what I'm here to do on my soul purpose. So, however, hi Layla, it's good to be here. It's good to be here and just live with you all and just connecting again. And I hope to be doing more of that now going forward. There was just another pathway that took so much of my time and energy, and an extremely worthwhile pathway. So guys, yes, say hello to each other. And like I say, if there's anything in particular that you want to share with me, to discuss, for us to talk about, then just put it in the comments. I can see the comments as they come up, okay? However, what I will do otherwise is just talk about what I think is really needing to be spoken about at the moment, okay? And I know that you guys are all really struggling, and I'm generalising because, you know, you may not be. But I think the world is really confusing at the moment, okay? Thanks, Heidi. Yeah, super refreshed. I think because I've been doing the healing work, it's a whole lot less battering, I suppose. My first few years of being in the public domain, exposing satanic ritual abuse, was extremely challenging. As a survivor, obviously, and recovering a lot of my own memories as well, you know, it kind of never ending for me as well. So yeah, the healing side of it has just been, it's been different, and just to be able to work from that side, you know, my spiritual and the heart space has been just amazing for me to be able to do. It just feels like an honour you know. So yeah, I expect I'll probably hopefully do look a little bit less battered than I did in those first few years. But yes, I feel, hi Christine. Yeah, thank you, Christine. It's good to be here, actually. So I feel what I'm witnessing, anyway, is that people are really struggling right now, okay, with the confusion. Because to say that the PSYOPs, psychological operations, has gone through the roof is an understatement. I mean, they have escalated to a point where I go on my Facebook feed, for example, and I just see craziness playing out in front of me. And if I didn't know better, because I know that we win this war and I know that it all comes good, I would be really sort of a bit freaked out right now, thinking, shit, people are starting to believe them, you know, the PSYOPs, and trusting the people that are absolutely on the wrong side of the fence, okay? However, I have no doubt in my mind whatsoever that we do win this war, and we do come out into a place of our planet Earth being free of the satanic reign, and we rebuild and everything comes good. Exactly, Claire. People are scared, and this is what I'm seeing. Okay? And I really want to try and encourage people to just trust. Right now, just trust. You know, I love that saying. I always get it wrong, but I always get all sayings wrong. But you'll know what I mean. I love that saying that it is always darkest before the dawn. And that's where we're at, okay? And people are scared, and people are just trying to find something to cling to, you know, someone, some kind of PSYOP, you know, to cling to. And I just can't encourage you enough to trust now more than you ever have, okay? Claire, the bad guys are going all out. They should be scared. They are running scared. This is exactly what's happening, okay? They are running scared. I've said it for years, guys. They're not going to go down without a fight. Of course they're not. And we can see it playing out every which way, can't we? But they are running scared. They know it's game over. I'm just flicking back through the comments here a minute, guys, so I don't miss anybody. Heidi, baddies running scared, vibrations are high. We've got to keep our vibration high. And I don't want to sound like a, you know, new age thing, but we do have to keep so much strength in our trust right now, okay? Because it's wobbling, isn't it? And the whole planet is coming a little bit unstable, to say the least. Okay, so we really need to stick together, support each other, work out your part in things, work out what your soul purpose is, why you're here at this time in history on planet Earth. What's your role in, you know, bringing the light into the darkness? And just stick to it. Just stick to it. There are so many little battlefields going on right now. Don't feel like you've got to be on every single one of them. Do you know one of the things I hear so repetitively right now is, what can I do? What can I do? I just feel so useless. I feel like, you know, I'm not doing any good, and, you know, all this sort of feeling of failure. And if you try and spread yourself too thin, you're going to, first of all, you're going to exhaust yourself. But second of all, you're going to lose clarity. You're going to lose your focus. So one of the things I teach in the psychic healing therapy that I do now is to go from intellect down to the heart space. So just come out of the chaos up here, drop down, just stop for a minute, just breathe. You haven't got to be a trained Buddhist or anything like that to be able to meditate. Just still, just be still, but be in your heart space, okay? And just allow yourself to be there and get clarity. Ask those questions. Why am I here? What am I meant to be doing? If you join the chaos, you become chaotic. If you allow yourself to trust and just stand on the sideline and observe a little bit, you can remain very clear and focused as to what it is you're meant to be doing right now, okay? So let me just, Kelly, is Q a PSYOP? If so, why is it exposing SRA? Kelly, this is such a good question, okay? And I'm going to just really simplify it. But what I want to really encourage you guys to do is do my workshops. I've set up workshops where I'm educating, and I'll put the link in the live, okay? But here is a great example of the sort of things that I'm trying to teach people, but in the safe space of a Zoom meeting. It's private, it's not recorded, and we have an interactive session where you can ask me as many questions as you want, and I'm teaching, okay? Every single thing on satanic ritual abuse, because obviously that's my field of expertise. And this is a great question, Kelly, because it expands so much. Is Q a PSYOP? Yes, 100%. In fact, I'm going to, go as far as to say that Q is probably one of the biggest PSYOPs of our time, okay? Why is it exposing SRA? There is a thing called the satanic law. The satanic law is something they have to play out in order to avoid karmic retribution. And when I say they, you know who I mean, okay? So they have certain psychological operations, they have certain people that are the front for the satanic law. If they are telling the world the truth, i.e. what you're saying, Kelly, exposing satanic ritual abuse, they believe because you're listening and you are not opposing it, that you're giving your consent. When they believe in their satanic law that they have the consent, they believe they avoid karmic retribution. So this is the satanic law. This is why you have PSYOPs such as Q and certain people that are speaking out and have huge followings. They're speaking the truth, mainly. They're not speaking all truth. And actually some of the things they do say are a bit misleading. However, there is truth in there. And they know it because they're on the inside. Remember that. I know it because I grew up in it. For 22 years, I was in a satanic cult. So I know the information because of that. They know the information because they're on the inside. So I hope that gives a little bit of reference there, Kelly, okay? But think about the workshops. Claire, the bad guys are going all out. They should be scared. Yes, I've responded to that. Layla, yes, I don't play into their game. They want a race war, trying to separate us all from the real truth. I mean, the race war, isn't that just like the oldest trick in the book? It's like, oh my God, are we still doing this? Listen, they want division. They want division. And why do they want division? Because it's distraction. As soon as you're paying attention to any of the crap that's going on, trust me, it's all crap that's going on of late. Are you thinking about the children that are still being held in captivity? Are you thinking about the children that are still suffering at the hands of these monsters? No, because you're distracted. So, Layla, that's the perfect example of the fact that they're trying to divide us all and they are trying to distract everybody. How noisy is everything right now? Do you feel that energy? It's so noisy. And this is why I can't encourage you enough to stay in quiet times and allow yourself that peace. Because that is where you gain your strength. to take this time in history on planet Earth and your own self in one piece, mentally, emotionally and physically, all the way to the finish line. You need to be looking after yourself right now more than ever, okay? Claire, I also see people uniting. Yes, people are uniting. We've got two different types of uniting, haven't we? We've got uniting with people like myself, us here, that absolutely know the truth. And guys, you haven't got to all know everything. It's all a learning curve all of the time. I have the majority of this information and knowledge because I lived it for 22 years. That is why I teach it. That is why I do what I do. So there is uniting going on with people that do know the truth, enough of it. But there's also uniting going on where people are following the wrong people. And there comes in more distraction. So again, try and gain the clarity and stay clear. Katie, the world causes so much pain and anxiety. I hate it here. It's sometimes so hard to keep faith that the light wins. Oh my gosh, Katie, I promise you, I hear you and I get it. I get it. I truly do. You know, one of the gifts I came with, and it's no secret, I speak about this all the time, it's one of the major reasons that I was targeted as a baby and a child and trained to be a super soldier and put in the hands of Klaus Schwab and all the horrors that I went through. It's because I have that psychic ability. And one thing that my psychic ability has always shown me from the heavens above, so to speak, let's just put it under that umbrella, is that we do win. It's written. Spiritually, it's already played out. But we are here as humans on planet Earth and we have to manifest it here now. I know it's hard, Katie. I know it is. And the pain and anxiety is probably hardest it's ever been. And there are so many people that I speak to that want to just go home, want to leave, want to go home, back to where we came from. Because so many of us here at the moment are really special, high-level souls. But we've come here for this purpose. But the ache, the yearning, and I'd go as far to say it's like a homesick feeling. To go back is stronger now than it's ever been. Remember, it's darkest before the dawn. This is where we have got to be there for each other. And this is why I'm going to be back doing what I do here, okay? We've got to be there for each other. We have to support each other at this time. Do not allow yourself to feel as though it is too much or it's hopeless or what am I doing to make any good? All of you, every single one of you are here for purpose. And I mean that. Every single one of you are here for purpose. I promise you. Take yourself in your quiet moments. Go from that chaos, the busy mind, down into the heart space and just be still and breathe. And you will feel what it is you're meant to be doing. You're not all meant to be on the front line. There's so much variation of what you're here to do. It may be that you're here to support somebody that's been through these atrocities. It may be that you're here to just educate your children. It may be that you're here to just offer someone a hug and let them know that they're loved and cared about. Or it may be the bigger stuff, that you're on the front line like I am, or you are having to show your face publicly and speak out and so on and so forth. There's this whole spectrum. But every single one of us has a purpose. And no purpose is more important than another. See us all as these pieces of the jigsaw. We all need each other to complete it. So it doesn't matter what your part is, what your sole purpose is. We are all equally as important. as the other one right now. Layla, that's why they're pushing this AI too, exactly. They are throwing everything they've got. You know, trained as I was as a super soldier and as a spy, I was taken into, let's just call them meetings as a child. I was trafficked to Russia for these level of intelligence, let's put it like that. Their intel meetings. And I heard them planning so much of this. They planned this decades ago. You know, it's been a long time now since I've escaped the cult. I was 22 when I escaped. I'm 58 now. Apparently, I don't know if that's true, but that's roughly what I know. And I overheard all of this all those years ago. Not all of it, a lot of it. You know, I knew what they were planning. And everything you're seeing play out now, this has been something they have planned for a very long time. And they're throwing everything at us. The other thing is people give them far too much power in their mind. Far too much power. They're not as strong as you think they are. They're not as powerful as you think they are. Don't fear them. Your soul and the light that you bring to the planet Earth is so much more powerful, which is why they want the children, because of the light that we bring with us. Give yourself some credit and trust in yourself, okay? So, Tina, oh, wow, great to see you. Haven't seen you for a long while. Thank you, Tina. And yeah, I haven't been around for a long while. I have been working really, really hard though, guys. And I have set up I've formulated my own, should we call it a therapy? Maybe. Psychic healing therapy, okay? So I formulated my own style after not wanting to go down the qualification route and everything that I would have to abide by with that. I've got over 30 odd years in the therapy world, one way or another. And obviously I've got my psychic abilities and all the rest of it. So I just formulated my own way because there were so many survivors and others that just couldn't find the right help. And that was the next step on my journey. You know, that was part of my calling, part of my soul purpose. That's now up and running. I've also set up my workshops because I've been continuing to educate. So I run 3 workshops a month now on satanic ritual abuse and everything you want to know. Who's involved? Where does it happen? Types of rituals. All the things that I collated, all the questions that I've had over the years that people need to know. And there are so many people coming forward now that are just finding out about it. Or you found out about it a couple of years ago, but you don't know enough, for example, about the underground tunnels and how they operate and, you know, the off-world species, aliens, for want of a better word, you know, the greys and the reptilians, and I teach about the mind control programs. And so these 3 workshops cover everything, and I just run them once a month, like the 3 every month, so not to sort of exhaust myself too much. And like I say, they're interactive. I don't let the numbers go too high, so you get to ask as many questions. So I'm educating and I'm healing, helping to heal others, as well as my own healing journey, of course, which is continuous. So if you are looking after yourself in this way, you're learning what you can learn, because if you know your enemy, you know what you're dealing with, you've got that education, you can work out far better what your role is. Maybe it is to educate. Maybe it is to go down a healing path. So many people are on that journey now, where they're coming to me and saying, I want to know my soul purpose. So, yeah, I'm very busy, but I do want to get back to doing the lives with you guys for sure. I miss you all anyway. Natalie, how do you stand up to satanic ritual abuse within the NHS when the police have helped cover it up? And again, this is what we're up against, okay? Because they've infiltrated every part of our world, our system, their institutions, it's a whole infiltration. And like I say, they've been at this for decades. So Natalie, how do we do it? Well, we first of all learn exactly who they are, where they are, and what they've infiltrated, i.e. the workshops. Sorry guys, I know I sound like I'm plugging them, but I want to plug them because I want you to learn. I don't do them for fun, So first of all, you learn as much as you can and you expose it. Exposure is their greatest fear. And when we're all talking about the truth and the world knows the truth, it's game over for them. Silence is their only weapon. And they depended on it. As a survivor of SRA, I know the hours and hours and hours that they put into torturing children to stop them from speaking. I was one of those children because they depended on our silence, which is why when survivors like myself started speaking up and breaking that silence, they knew they were in trouble. We're talking about highly organised crime. And as yet, a highly organised crime that the police aren't bringing to justice. But we know why. Thank you. Alison, love you. Someone said about the audio, is it bad, guys? Anastasia, hello Anastasia. All my lovely people. It's so nice to see you all, guys. Monica, so lovely to see you and feel the healing you're sending to us. Yeah, guys, one of the things that I'm really helping people to understand when they come to me and say, look, I really want to know my soul purpose, because there's such a strong calling for that now. The soul purpose is the reason why we're here. But what I teach people and what is so important is that you recognise you have to heal your human existence. There's no shortcut. There's no avoiding it. I wish there was. Trust me, if I had that information, I would be sharing it every second of every day. There's no avoiding healing your own human existence. And what I mean by that is your childhood, your adulthood, your young adulthood, anything you've been through, trauma. Let's just put it under that umbrella. Trauma, pain, abuse, whatever it may be. Do whatever it takes to heal. Don't avoid it. Because when you heal, and trust me, I know how hard it is. I know how hard it is. I shut myself away for 20 years. 20 years I shut myself away from the world. And it took that long before I could speak out publicly. I know how hard it is. But it'll be the best thing you ever do for yourself. And then your soul purpose becomes clear. So yeah. Healing the human existence. Let's put it under that umbrella. Sashi, lovely to see your face and hear your voice live. Oh, thank you. It's really nice to be here, actually, guys. Okay, so Heidi, yeah, haven't seen you for ages. How are you? I'm doing well, thank you. I am so busy, but so happy to be busy because I know that I'm doing what I can do. What I can do. I now use those abilities, let's say, that they abused me for, to help other people. And really, as much as the judiciary system has completely obviously let me down, when we know why, I've never had justice in that way. I've never had that support. And I've just relentlessly been let down, even when I did try and do it. But this is my justice. For me to be here, alive and well, and be able to help others to heal especially SRA survivors. That is my justice. That is me happy. That's me making the best of this situation, you know, of where we're at on our planet right now. Just keep going with what you know is right for you. I promise you, I will see you all on the finish line, and we leave this planet for our children and our grandchildren to grow and rebuild and be free. Be free. Floor, how do you help a child you suspect is being abused but you have no real proof? Oh, I wish I had the answer to that one. Just keep learning, educate yourself. Again, workshops, guys, and I will put the link in the comments. If you know more, you can see more and more. And then you can gain actual evidence. If you think that a child is being abused, just try and gather as much information as you can. Look, ultimately, there are victims everywhere right now. Underground, overground. We're not there yet where it stops. And this is where people are suffering so much, because we all feel so bloody helpless right now, knowing that our children on this planet are being so horrifically abused. And there are so many of us speaking out now that were those children. Okay? Just keep going and do whatever you can do. Yes, someone's saying the audio sucks. Sorry, guys. Does it? Can you not hear me? Or hopefully audio fine. Thank you, Julie. Oh, thank you, Alison. I feel so much love and support from you. You know, again, if that's what I can bring whilst we are struggling right now on this planet with all the things that are going on, then I'm so grateful for that. And if that's what you can give to others, trust me, it's more than enough. It's more than enough. Just keep going in the right direction. And there are going to be days when it is really, really challenging. Anne-Marie, hi, nice to see you, darling. Hi, hon, I know you were always telling the truth about the past, and finally the world is seeing, yes, and believing it, and believing it with all the revelations lately. Exactly. You know, I've always said they are going to expose themselves, and that's exactly what they're doing. Just let it play out. Let it play out whilst doing your bit. And when I say let it play out, I do not mean sit back and think that you've got all these people out there that at the moment are very much in the public domain, are getting all these following people watching and, oh, anyway, you see, I'm not going to start ranting. However, I don't mean sit back and do nothing and let it play out. You have to do what you're here to do, and that's why you have to gain clarity, okay? But let it play out in the way that you can trust that it will. Just make sure you're doing your bit. Don't be misled down the wrong path. Okay, audio is fine. Thank you. I'm sorry if for whoever... Oh, thank you for my flowers, Lynn. Okay, sounds good. Thank you, because that would be crap. Monica, would you mind talking about forgiveness in a video sometime? Because I can't really understand the thing that you can't get free... Hold on. That you can't get free from anger if you don't... Some people say, I can forgive myself, but... don't understand why if the perpetrators don't want to be forgiven. You know, with something like this, I would say, because this is a whole other subject, right? But what I will say is this, and this is something that I go into quite a lot as well with my psychic healing therapy groups, okay? Forgiveness. I am going to put that word under the umbrella of propaganda. Okay, and I know that's really controversial. I think there is so much bullshit attached to the word forgiveness, of what we can only be happy if we forgive. Well, I have no forgiveness for my perpetrators and everyone that horrifically abused me and tortured me for 22 years. Zero forgiveness. And I don't believe there's anything to forgive myself for either. I think actually the word forgiveness is very much in the sort of religion-based sector of life, man-made religions. So I would say forget about it. Heal yourself, heal your wounds, heal your trauma, and see where that leads you. It doesn't mean that you can't have understanding. I know, for example, my mother, one of my perpetrators, was also a child victim and a victim in the cult alongside myself. I can have understanding, but really this forgiveness thing, I think the closest I can get to getting on board is when people say forgiveness is about it not hurting you anymore. Well, healing's about it not hurting you anymore. So yeah, I'm a little bit not too fond of that forgiveness, because there's so much crap that's been attached to it and manipulation and all of that. Okay, so thank you, Monica. Yeah, thank you, because that's my feeling. Yeah, exactly. So guys, how can I sum up here? Trust that everything is going to be okay, but not in the way where you get to sit back and do nothing. Find out in your heart what you're meant to be doing right now, okay? And work with that. Work with that. We win. I promise you. I promise you. You know, the most powerful energy on this planet, it's actually truth. Every time you speak the truth, you bring light onto the planet. You bring light to the planet. That light tenfold takes out the darkness. Tenfold. Speak the truth, no matter what. Be true to yourself, no matter what. Don't worry about how people receive it. Don't speak the truth when you're trying to expose the atrocities on this planet with expectation of what you want to get back. So if you're talking to a friend or a neighbour and you want to teach them about SRA and what's happening to the children, don't worry about how they hear it and respond to it. That's not on you. Respond to it. That's not on you. Your job is to just speak the truth. Let it land where it lands. Sorry, just a couple of other good points here. Debbie, what do you do when you sense your consciousness was taken in your sleep as a child and you were taken somewhere, taken somewhere and used when you don't have the memories, but you know you were traumatized? I sense many were taken, if not all, at some time. Definitely not all. Definitely not everyone on this planet's been taken, but yes, that happens, okay? And I work with survivors of this day in, day out. This is about healing the trauma that it caused. When you haven't got the memory here, this is where people look for their memories, okay? In your intelligent brain. Trust me, the memories are in other places. Your body keeps the score more than anything else. So, for example, if you've got no actual memory recall, you can start to work in other areas. And this is part of what I've formulated with my psychic healing therapy. And I will leave the links to that if you want to book in with me and work stuff like this out. Now, when you can work with what you've got, the rest tends to come forward. if you can't recall memories, and I had full-on amnesia of all my memories for about, gosh, 15 years, maybe a bit more, full amnesia, nothing. And people don't think they can heal if they can't actually remember it. But when you start to recall the memories, if it's meant to be, you'll get them back. If they're not there, it's for a purpose. It's because you're protecting yourself. So it isn't a case of forcing it. But this is such a good example, what you've written here, Debbie, because you know, you can sense it. You know, they're your memories. Your memories are in your body, they're in your heart space, they're in your soul. You can sense it. And when you know that, trust it. You can heal it from there. So yeah, this is all the stuff I work with, guys. Because these are the problems on the planet now, isn't it? And when I say problems, as in these are where people are at now. These are what people are going, I know this happened to me, but I can't remember. Remember what I said? They put in hours and hours and hours to get your silence so you don't remember. But we are all remembering. There's thousands of us. There's millions of us. We're all remembering. We can't all be mad and crazy, can we? And making it up. So trust yourself. Okay? Trust yourself. Oh, Monica, that's lovely. I continue with my healing. I'm really happy to hear that. James, therapy, reliving trauma over and over. Would you agree? No. No. I know where you're going with that, James, and I get it. Trust me, again, I get it. But you do have to revisit it. You do. But that's my opinion, and that's my experience. That's what got me there. If you find another way, please go for it. But I never did. What I recognised was, when I started to remember, get a flashback or just a sense, something would be triggered, I knew I had to look at it. I knew I had to look at that shit, and it was horrendous. And I tried to avoid until I realised it was no good. Trust me, I tried drink, drugs, you name it, you know, dysfunctional relationships. I did it all for a very long time. None of it worked, obviously. So what I learned to do whenever I remembered a memory and the trauma was horrific, I turned and looked at it and I ran at it. I went straight back to meet it. Bang, head on. I just ran into every brick wall over and over and over. 20 years, relentless healing. I had 22 years of trauma to heal. And I'm obviously talking about off the scale trauma. This is how I did it. I had to go back and relive. And I allowed myself to sit in that memory, think about it, share it with my most trusted therapist that I was so grateful to have found, and allow myself to feel everything that I wasn't allowed to feel in that moment when it was happening to me. So whatever that memory was, and you know what goes on in satanic ritual abuse, I don't need to spill it out there, say it like that, but whatever that memory was, I would have to sit and cry and feel that fear and grieve and feel the rage, everything that was so suppressed in me in that moment, because in satanic ritual abuse, you're allowed to feel nothing. It's all going on underneath, but it all gets crushed. And that actually is quite common just in trauma anyway. It doesn't have to be an SRA. So, I hear you, James. I just kept going at it and at it and at it until every time I did that, every memory that I sat with and allowed myself to feel the terror of it, I empowered myself over it. Then when I thought about that memory, yeah, of course it brought up feelings, but nothing like it did when I was trying to avoid it. So for me, that works. And that is why I formulated what I did with my psychic healing therapy. But we all have our own way, you know. Mine doesn't have to be right for everybody. Of course it isn't. Natalie, I've tried cord cutting and returning to sender. Nice to know forgiveness isn't needed. I like the cord cutting because it's a fuck you, isn't it? It's like, nope, you're gone. Done. Hand it over. Send it up to the heavens. Send it up to the light. Let them deal with it. And they will. But yeah, cord cutting, I love it. I love a good visualization. Works great. No, forgiveness is not needed. Absolutely not. I won't get on that soapbox. Not now. Okay, and just check and see. Your body, your cells. Yep, and you can regenerate your cells like that. We are in control of ourselves, you know. When you recognize that you have the power to overcome everything, you will overcome everything. You will empower yourself. It's the belief system that's instilled, isn't it, when we are repeatedly abused as children. The powerlessness. James, I've virtually no memory of my first 7 years in care and foster care, but I just know exactly, James. There it is. There it is. You know, when there's no memory, it's very telling. It's very telling. There's so much information in that there's no memory. There's so much information in that. And I'm so sorry, James. I'm truly sorry to read that. Just as such a small child. And this is why we're here, guys, you know, to stop this. To stop this. But you just know. Trust that, James. What you know, you know. When people come to me and say, I really think I was abused and I feel it and I can sense it and, you know, but they've got no memory, I believe them. Hands down. Because I know what that sense of knowing is, because I lived it. That's why I can do what I do now. So guys, back to the beginning of this live. I really wanted to come and see you all today and just give you some encouragement, okay? I want to encourage you to stand strong, to trust that we get onto that finish line, because we will. Just know that it's always darkest before the dawn. But the light will not let us down. You are the light, guys. Your souls are the light. We are all here for purpose. Find your purpose. Okay, I'm going to drop all my links in the comments and you can reach out to me in any way that you feel, if I can help. But there are plenty of me's on the planet, you know. Get support if you need it. Heal your human existence. And I promise you, the pathway to your soul purpose will become very, very clear, because that's where we're at now. Find your soul purpose. Educate yourself, okay? Stick together. I will be back live now as much as I can be, okay? Join me here. Let's just join up. Let's just support each other and know that you're not alone in this really frustrating and testing time, because it is so frustrating and testing. I get it, but it's going to be okay. The children need us. We are here for the children, okay? So guys, I am so happy that I could connect with you all today. And Natalie, isn't that lovely? So happy I caught you live. I needed something today. Thank you. Perfect timing. Timing is always perfect. I trust it completely. And I always know when I've got to reach out to you guys. If you missed the live, I'm really sorry. Watch it from the beginning. And I will be back, guys. Just keep an eye on the channel. Please share the lives. Please share the encouragement. Okay, I cannot stress enough now how important it is that you all stand strong. Okay, and you're not alone. I will also put my Telegram group in the comments as well, guys, the link to that, because that's a really, really supportive group, okay? And you can just go there and go, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to believe, and, you know, and you will get support. There's really good people in that group, okay? And I'm there, and I can, you know, help you understand who's who when you need to, and just stay together, okay? Togetherness, trust, strength, heal yourselves, look for your soul purposes. One day all those children are going to thank you all. Lots of love, guys. Please share the live and look out for my next one. See you soon. Bye for now. Oops, I've got to work out how to finish it. I haven't done it for ages. I'm so rubbish on tech. Love you all. Bye.